Celtic Twilight by W.B. Yeats. And the thick skull of the fortunate. Or perhaps having the thick skull is how you're unfortunate. Depends on the circumstance. Once a number of Icelandic peasantry found a very thick skull in the cemetery where the poet Eagle was buried. Its great thickness made them feel certain it was the skull of a great man, doubtless of Eagle himself. To be doubly sure, they put it on a wall and hit it hard blows with a hammer. It got white where the blows fell, but did not break, and they were convinced that it was in truth the skull of the poet, and worthy of every honor. Well, a big head and a small brain and not much passageways of air, that's, in most cases, that would not be a good sign, but in terms of people thinking that someone's intelligent. In Ireland, we have much kinship with the Icelanders, or Danes, as we call them, and all other dwellers in Scandinavian countries. In some of our mountains and barren places, and in our seaboard villages, we still test each other in much the same way the Icelanders tested the head of Eagle. We may have acquired the custom from those ancient Danish pirates, whose descendants, the people of Rosses, tell me still remember every field and hillock in Ireland which once belonged to their forefathers, and are able to describe Rosses itself as well as any native. There is one seaboard district, known in roughly, where the men are never known to shave or trim their wild red beards, because red hair is a color from further north than the area that would be called the UK, but later. And where there is a fight ever on foot. Yeah, we tend not to be nice drunks. That's a good reason that I've opposed recreational intoxicant use my whole life. I have seen them at a boat race fall foul of each other, and after much loud Gaelic, strike each other with oars. The first boat had gone aground, and by dint of hitting out with long oars, kept the second boat from passing, only to give the victory to the third. One day the Sligo people say a man from Roughly was tried in Sligo for breaking a skull in a row, and made the defence, not unknown in Ireland, that some heads are so thin you cannot be responsible for them. Having turned with a look of passionate contempt towards the solicitor who was prosecuting, and cried, "That little fellow's skull, if you were to hit it, would go like an eggshell," he beamed upon a judge, and said in a wheedling voice, "But a man might wallop away at your lordship's for a fortnight." Even if it had been a corpse, but a living person's like, "Oh, his head should have been able to handle it, but your head can handle quite a whopping." It'd be a sad thing if that could be used as a defense. Oh, but his body was so weak, it should, other people would have been able to handle a beating like that and survived. And it's like, maybe, maybe not. Sometimes the big person doesn't. I wrote this all years ago, out of what were even then old memories. I was in Roughly the other day, and found it much like other desolate places. I may have been thinking of Mu Oro, of Ma Oro, a much wilder place. Mug Oro, for the memories of one's childhood are brittle things to lean open.